let's make your community's social media presence into a magnet for your ideal members by using behavior modeling. This video is part of a collaboration with these awesome people focused all on tips, tricks, and how-tos for your community. You'll definitely want to check out the full playlist with all of their expertise. There's a link, or over here or somewhere. You get the idea. But for now, you're hanging out with me, Carolyn from Bad Axe Enterprises, and we're going to be talking about behavior modeling. To get started with behavior modeling, you need to know what behavior you want. I know that sounds very basic, but that's the truth. You need to make a list, maybe examining what some of your most active or most gold star super members are doing in the community. What's happening in there that you're like, we want more of this thing. Look at your community members, who's already engaging in ways that you are really excited about having more of. Make a list about those behaviors, because we're gonna start making your social media presence for your community an attractant for people who have those behaviors. Next up, after you've identified your list of ideal behaviors, you need to know what are signifiers of those behaviors on social media. So an example of a signifier could be, if you're looking to get more members who are really empathetic, you could be looking for comments that are really thoughtful or considerate. If you're looking for thought leadership within your community, you could be looking for what users on social media took your latest video and remixed it with their own thoughts, or who reposted one of your articles and expanded on it in some unique way, right? Those are the people who are exhibiting thought leadership surrounding what your community is already sharing on social media. Next, you have to design a strategy for your social media presence to elicit those behaviors and give a taste of what's inside your community. So for the thought leadership example, if you're posting content that doesn't feel like it's open to interpretation, or you don't put a direct call to action of like, hey, what are your thoughts? You're probably not necessarily going to be attracting thought leaders. It's also possible that they will give you their unrequested thoughts. That happens as well, and that could be a good thing. But making sure that your content in your strategy for social media really is tailored to those sorts of things, right? If you in your community want to spark a lot of free-form discussion around just more general topics, you need to also be doing that on social media. In your community, build out a lot of open-ended questions that you want to find people who enjoy that sort of a prompt and want to actively respond to an open-ended question. That should be the type of content that you are using on social media. That's not necessarily as much behavior modeling as it is just generally attracting people to your community in a way that they have a sense of what's already going to happen within the community. If they don't like responding to open-ended questions on social media and they get in the community and it's all open-ended questions, they can't feel like they weren't warned. If that's what you were doing on your social media and more of the same or similar is happening within the community, you've set an expectation that even if they get in there and they're like, this isn't for me, they don't feel blindsided, right? Whereas if you are just pushing out content that doesn't elicit any sort of behavior, reaction, response, and then they get into your community and it's a highly interactive, cooperative space that they're expected to contribute to regularly, that would feel very dissonant, which is why it's important to look at the goals of the community and what the members are expected to do and what your ideal members are already doing when you're building out your marketing strategy. The final tip that I'm going to offer for doing behavior modeling with your social media content for your community is to use your brand account, your community account on whatever social media platform. Use that as a role model for ideal members. Interact in a way that you want to see your ideal members interacting. That can look like liking and cheersing other posts, asking thoughtful questions, sharing timely insight. Any of those things can and should be happening not only on your brand's profile, but also in adjacent spaces where those ideal members will be hanging out. So with that wrapped, how do you model behavior for your online community on social media? Are you already doing it? Have you seen levels of effectiveness with this strategy? I'd love to hear all about it. Drop a comment, and don't forget to check out the rest of this playlist for more tips, tricks, and how-tos all about community. Until next time, stay badass.